Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Maracle Seating Podcast, the newly resurrected podcast, which was canceled in late 2016 due to stress and basically because I did not really make it really entertaining. But that's all changed because now I had decided I found the perfect way to have the podcast back. And that is for pay-per-view predictions as well as pay-per-view reviews. Understandable. So, what's going on here is I will be having an occasional guest for predictions and for the reviews for WWE pay-per-view events throughout the course of 2017 as a way to hopefully you guys can hear my legit opinions. Alright, but first off, let's kick things off with what we got here. This is WWE Payback 2017 predictions, and I'm here with a special guest for the first time ever on my channel. Please welcome from FGC Wrestling, FGC. How you doing, man?
What's going on, Optimistically? I am the co-host for Christian Miracle's Pay Per RE-View podcast, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast and our predictions today. And
all right.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, if you can rarely hear what FGC is saying, I'm going to try to up the volume a little bit and try to alter it just to make sure you can hear better. But I'm contacting him via Skype, so that's the reason why the recording of him would probably not sound the best compared to mine, which is the live here in the Maracle Lounge. By the way, I forgot to say that. FGC, welcome to the lounge.
Yeah, glad to be here.
All right, how's it feel to be here on Maracle Seating Podcast to be the co-host for predictions?
It's pretty amazing. Like it's a great opportunity to finally work kind of with you for a podcast, especially for pay-per-views.
Yep.
And I hope for this to continue on with the rest of the pay-per-views.
Oh, yeah, of course. I've also, for those who don't know, I've been the official commentator for FGC Wrestling for a year now. April 24th marked it a year since I first joined in, and I'm still here today. I believe I signed another one-year contract with them.
Yeah.
But that's not what
appreciative.
Yeah, that's not what we're here to talk about, though. What we're here to talk about is Payback 2017, which happens this Sunday, April 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, on the WWE Network for just $9.99.
In San Jose, California.
In San Jose, California. I think with me having you on board for this, it's actually going to make this a lot more entertaining because I have someone to talk to rather than just me talking to myself.
Yeah.
All right.
Rather
so
listen to people than stutter.
Yeah, we're both going to be stuttering, but if people judge our stuttering, we stutter. People stutter. That is how things work at times.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how things work. FGC's a little nervous. I'm actually nervous myself. I would say I'm a little bit more nervous than he is because I'm the one who's hosting this thing. All right. I'm going to let you guys know right now, we are not going to be doing predictions for the pre-show of Payback because honestly, like I say in the Sin videos, that's not part of the actual show and thus doesn't really matter. All right. Here's how things are going to go. I'm going to decide. I'm going to go through the non-title matches before we go to the. Actually, maybe I should. If the Universal title was being defended this Sunday, then maybe I would consider putting the title matches after the regular matches. But sadly, we have no world title match, despite we have SmackDown's WWE Champion competing this Sunday. That's interesting. All right, but let's kick things off. Might as well just go ahead go for the titles first. Let's kick things off for the United States Championship. What we got here is the WrestleMania rematch between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. And the ruling here is if Jericho wins the title, he will be transferred to SmackDown because SmackDown needs a secondary title and Raw already has the Intercontinental title. And so, FGC, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, who do you believe will win this match?
My prediction is Kevin Owens. Reason being is because, they had a great match at WrestleMania, and Kevin won the title. So a rematch would be cool to see. And the reason Kevin is going to retain the title is because there are rumors of Jericho probably leaving the WWE for his band. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, he actually posted a little teaser of Fozzie's new record that they're going to be recording soon. Basically, when he's not wrestling, he's playing music. He's also got, to me, he's got the best deal in WWE because they literally say you can show up whenever the hell you like.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, that's probably why Kevin Owens might win because Jericho's going to be probably leaving WWE for his band. But if Jericho does end up winning, then he will probably lose it at the next pay-per-view, which would be Backlash for them.
Yeah.
And then lose it again. But that would make no sense. So, obviously, Kevin Owens might win.
We'll just see how that works. My pick is also Kevin Owens to retain. I will say this right now. I'm not really fond of his little, how would I say? I'm not really fond of his suit little gimmick. He's like Chris Jericho back when he was in the Best in the World of What I Do gimmick. That's basically what he's doing. Jericho did say Owens was a big fan of Jericho. Kevin Owens is doing the whole dress up in a suit and tie thing.
Yeah.
And the haircut, I admit it was okay on him, but he's really trying to be Jericho. We just don't see it at first.
Yeah.
I see it, though. All right.
Yeah,
that was U.S. title match. Let's move on to the next title. Let's go to the Cruiserweight Championship match and hope that, well, I guarantee WWE Payback is going to be replaced with WWE Cruiserweight for a while.
Yeah, for a good, 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to, paint the tape the ropes purple and tattoo the ring and, do all that crazy shit. But, Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight Championship and also a WrestleMania pre-show rematch, but this one's not going to be on a pre-show. I remember back when I watched the WrestleMania, I was there in Orlando, Florida at the Campbell World Stadium watching that. For one thing, it was freaking hot during the Neville versus Austin Aries match. I believe 92 degrees Fahrenheit.
Because it was a kickoff show, so
yeah.
Of course it was really early and hot.
I'm glad I wasn't out in California for this.
No.
That would have been worse. But let's go for it. Neville versus Austin Aries. How about this time I'll go first? I'm still predicting that Neville is going to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Oh, you're thinking otherwise. I'll get to you in a moment. But
right.
I believe the reason I believe Neville will retain is because everybody believes that somebody is always going to win this and that, and then they usually don't. Everybody predicted Austin Aries would win the title at WrestleMania, and that actually never happened. Neville's been quite the hell of a Cruiserweight champion, and I'm hoping that he actually wins and retains the title. All right, your move, FGC.
Of course, I'm going with Austin Aries because they had a heck of a match at WrestleMania. I enjoyed it. Of course, some people don't watch the pre-show but I honestly watch it just for the fun of it, just to get pumped up for the real matches.
And of course, I watched the pre-show. I watched the pre-show because while I was there, I had no choice.
Yeah, and Austin Aries performed very well, and I would like to see him with the belt over his shoulder within that match.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, okay, we're actually split now. For the U.S. title match, we both said Kevin Owens. For this one, where one of us said Neville, the other said Austin Aries. So basically, it's Christian versus FGC for anyone listening. Let's move on to the next title match. The Raw Women's Championship, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. FGC, you have the floor.
All right. My prediction, Alexa Bliss. There's 5 feet of fury. No, I don't have much to say about this one.
By the way, folks, if you can hear a couple creaks upstairs, that's because I have company over. We have got some fun times going on, and so if you hear that, just ignore it. It's okay. It's no big deal. But moving forward, the one thing I want to say about Alexa Bliss is she actually makes Bayley look tall now.
Yeah.
Bayley was always treated like the little shrimp, huh? And now there's even a smaller shrimp. This smaller shrimp was the 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. I'm going for Alexa Bliss as well, mainly because, I've been extremely impressed with her. As for Bayley, I don't know. I just can't stand her.
Yeah.
I wanted to cheer for her, but when she came up from NXT, I don't know, something about her just changed my attitude. I don't know. Something happened. I don't know. Yeah. Moving forward, the last title match of the night, we have the Raw Tag Team titles as the tag champs, my childhood heroes, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Hardy Boys.
Yeah, Hardy Boys.
Taking on Cesaro and Sheamus. And throughout the course of the past number of weeks, one Hardy Boy took on a member of Cesaro and Sheamus' team. That went on for 1 to 2 weeks. Jeff Hardy take on Cesaro, Matt Hardy take on Sheamus. Always ended with, Hardy's getting the victory, shaking hands, stuff like that. But now we have the tag team title match on Sunday. Hardy's versus Cesaro and Sheamus. And I don't know, something about me says that Cesaro and Sheamus are actually going to capture the gold, even though I'm on the side of Hardy Boys on Sunday. So far, like, I forgot to ask, FGC, what was your opinion when the Hardy Boys returned at WrestleMania?
What was my opinion, or what was my reaction?
Well, either
it was just a mind-blowing, like, reaction. It was crazy. I wish I was there at WrestleMania so I can actually show my excitement, but here, I was, like, freaking out. But yeah, it was an outstanding return for the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, it was amazing. Who are you going to go for? Who do you think's going to win on Sunday?
Hardy Boys, of course, because we don't carry on.
Well, Hardy Boys, I would say that they're a little stuck between the Team Extreme and the Broken Hardys.
Yeah.
Because you see Matt Hardy talking, but then of course he suddenly switches accents.
So yeah, that's pretty crazy. I just hope they can finally pick one and carry on.
Yeah, I believe if the Hardys lose the tag team titles, I think that's when they might go full on broken.
Yeah, but the reason I choose Hardy Boys winning is because, of course, they can't just like return for WrestleMania because these two teams are really cool baby faces, but I got the Hardy Boys win because it'd be stupid to make an amazing comeback and lose their titles the next pay-per-view. So I gotta go with the Hardy this match.
Quite some good points, man. All right, that we're both on the side of Hardy Boys, even though I have a thought in my head that Cesaro and Sheamus is gonna win it. But without further ado, that's the end of the title matches. Let's go to the three remaining matches that are not for titles. First off, Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah.
I believe this match was supposed to happen at Fastlane before Seth injured his leg.
Yeah.
But who are you gonna go for, Rollins or Joe?
I'm going with Samoa Joe.
That's a really good one. I'm actually on the side of Samoa Joe as well. Of course, Seth Rollins. He used to be my man. I used to refer to him my man, Seth Rollins, but
Christian freaking Miracle.
Well, he got replaced. Well, Seth Rollins, in my opinion, like my man, got replaced with AJ Styles, but that's not the point.
Yeah, I have Samoa Joe winning. He's gonna probably win it dirty because based off the attacks he's had going with Seth.
Well, yeah, especially the situations going on with Gallows and Anderson. Like last week on Raw, like Gallows and Anderson as well as Samoa Joe ambushed Enzo and Cass prior to a 6-man tag match, and well, that was pretty. I don't know. I was out of nowhere. The one thing that I just hope that Samoa Joe doesn't do is once again injure Seth's knee when he puts him in that computer
then he'll probably
clutch.
just be done.
Seth Rollins coming off a victory against Triple H at WrestleMania, and now is pretty much having the match that was supposed to happen at the pay-per-view before Mania. But, well, we're here now, but I'm going with Samoa Joe on the victory because, anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm going with him too because after this match, if he wins, he may be getting a good push for his career in the WWE.
Let's just hope. It's been like people have been wanting Joe to be in WWE for so many years.
Yeah.
All right, next one. This one is a really big talked about match. It's Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Everybody knows the Roman Reigns situation at WrestleMania. He defeated The Undertaker, and afterwards The Undertaker announced his retirement. But that's not what we're here to talk about, because, well, that's already been dealt with, done with, don't need to talk about. However, we all remember this, FGC, like, Braun Strowman, that big assault on Roman Reigns, pushed a few things against them. He was strapped in a stretcher, pushed the stretcher off the freaking, into, a parking lot.
Thing.
Well,
not ramp,
parking lot, something like that.
Yeah.
And then when Roman was being put into an ambulance, it was an "I'm not done with you" moment, and he tips over the ambulance, and that was last time we've seen Reigns because, well, of course, in real life, Roman Reigns lost his brother in real life, Rosie.
Yeah.
All respects to his family, but there's a match on Sunday, Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman, and Braun's just coming off losing a dumpster match to Kalisto. Which was
that match was pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah, the one thing I liked was Braun's face when he was in the dumpster.
Yeah.
The way I thought it was supposed to go at first was I thought you were supposed to put your opponent in the dumpster and then close the lid or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But Braun, he was drop kicked off the apron. He just lands in the dumpster and that's it. I'm like, oh, that's how it works. But of course, Kalisto was put into the dumpster and he got pushed off the stage. And well, somebody obviously saw what happened to McFoley.
Oh, wow.
I remember when DX did that, and I remember JR saying, "There are people in there. There are people in there."
Yeah.
Good times. But Braun's been on a roll, like, ever since WrestleMania. Like, not counting the time he stood up to Brock Lesnar but then walked away. He ambushed Roman Reigns, that major ambush that he gave Roman Reigns, including the ambulance. Then the next week, he superplexes Big Show and breaks the whole ring.
Yeah, that was... I knew that was going to happen. That was predictable, which was very...
And despite
awesome.
him losing a dumpster match to Kalisto, he was the one who was really standing tall in the end. So I believe that Braun Strowman should win this match to continue his path of dominance. That's what we want. That's what we need, actually, is Braun to be on a path of dominance here.
But on this one, I'm going with Reigns.
Yeah, you believe Roman Reigns is going to do what pretty much John Cena would do, which is the Superman comeback, huh?
Yeah,
ironic, Superman punch.
See, Roman's probably been watching his past couple matches and see how he's performed, and he wants to really end that streak. Yeah. And whenever Reigns does beat him, Braun, of course, is going to go on a rampage like he has the past couple of weeks, anyways.
These two
He's going to go on a rampage after a loss.
These two previously faced off at Fastlane, and Roman got the victory, which ended Braun's undefeated streak. So there is that to think about as well. They previously have faced off. Roman has beaten Braun before. Big question is, can he do it again? We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
With that in mind, what comes us to the most talked about match for Payback, which I believe is going to be our main event. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt in a House of Horrors match.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you even
I have exactly what to say about this.
Do you know how a House of Horrors match works?
Well, it might have to do with something that happened at WrestleMania. Remember about all those effects?
That was freaky and everything. All those maggots and earthworms and cockroaches. Oh god, yeah. I think I'm gonna puke. But I'm actually glad about this. We still don't know how a House of Horrors match works.
I know.
There's no more shows. There's no more shows leading up to Payback. All we know is that it's a match called a House of Horrors match. We don't know we don't know where it may even take place in like the Wyatt's compound or something.
I would like to see that.
Would we do this another version of the Final Deletion? Between Matt and Jeff Hardy back in TNA? When they would make the matches all movie cinematic style?
Yeah, that would be crazy to watch.
That was a fun time to watch back when Broken Man Brother Nero really broke through. But that's not this. This is different. Randy versus Bray Wyatt. Any match that Bray Wyatt creates, you can guarantee it's going to be freaky as shit.
Yeah, and Bray's going to win this one.
Yeah, this time, I actually believe that the championship was going to be on the line, considering Randy Orton's WWE champion on SmackDown. However, it was announced that it was not going to be for the title, because, well, for one thing, Randy doesn't even have the title. He got abducted by Jinder Mahal this past Tuesday on SmackDown. But, yeah, it's just a regular House of Horrors match, so I'm like, oh, well, doesn't matter who wins the match then. I believe also that Bray Wyatt's going to win this one. He lost the title to Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I'm surprised he's not getting his rematch for the title, though.
Yeah, that would have been better to watch. But again, I would rather watch the House of Horrors match. Yeah, see what it's about.
Bray is on Raw, Randy's on SmackDown, so we have not one but two SmackDown versus Raw matches here.
Yeah. I would like to see Bray win based off the stuff that we saw at WrestleMania, and that might have to do with something.
Either way, it doesn't matter where they go with this, because, after this is over, they're going to be done with.
Yeah.
Because they're on separate brands now. And Bray Wyatt over on Raw, Randy on SmackDown. Basically, once this match is over, it moves on. But I'm just hoping that this is going to be not something that's going to be like a lame waste of time. Yeah. Because that's something we would never want to see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the predictions for Payback 2017. My guest, FGC, here. Thank you very much for joining me on this show. How great did you enjoy it?
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was an enjoyable experience and opportunity. And I just want to say I'm glad to be a part of this pay-per-view prediction for you. Yep. It's going to be one heck of a ride.
All right. So once again, Payback is this Sunday, April 30th, 2017, 8 p.m., 5 Pacific on WWE Network. Let's see. I just want to say, guys, thank you very much for tuning into this podcast. I'm glad that the Maracle Seating Podcast is back up and running again, because I actually found like this would be the best way to use it for WWE Pay Per predictions with FGC. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm also doing I might as well call them paper reviews.
Yeah, paper reviews.
Because I was about to say pay-per-view reviews, but I would be saying views twice.
Yeah, whatever.
Pay-per-view review.
Paper review.
I'm going to be doing paper reviews with another friend of mine who's also from Texas, like FGC is. Not that far away from each other, actually. But,
Hey, BCN.
His name's BCnRollins. He's another big fan of mine. Like FGC, I also consider him a good brother, good friend. He's a great person to hang out with. But he's going to be joining me for paper reviews, and we're going to be discussing what we thought of the events. So you get to see him on the next edition of this podcast. FGC, you up for appearing in future episodes of pay-per-view predictions?
Of course. I like doing this. This is actually pretty fun.
Exactly. I hope you guys enjoy it very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close off the podcast. I don't know how to close off a podcast except say thank you for watching and think optimistically, everybody.
Be optimistic, no.
Okay, that's what I would usually do. Actually, that's my former outro, but times have changed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining in. This has been the predictions for WWE Payback 2017. Enjoy the event, and I'll see you guys on the next edition of Maracle Seating Podcast.